Good evening and welcome to Parrot Show. My name is Peter Oginan and I'm your host. Coming up on today's show, after 3 months of stage acting in Ireland, the Ireland Association of African Theatre Art Practitioners organized a grand reception for Uncle Olu Jacobs. And in the course of the evening, Olu Jacobs found time to take us down memory lane from his humble beginning in Ogun State to his being the godfather of Nollywood movie industry. Hope you enjoy it.
You're very welcome, sir. It's a pleasure to have you in our midst.
Olu Jacobs wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He was a typical village boy who knew what he wanted right from when he was a young man.
Olu Jacobs is a Nigerian. Olu Jacobs was born on the 11th of July 1942 in Kano from parents from Ogun State. Why were they in Kano? Because they were in Kano well before I was born. That is another story. It was another story. But they were in Kano, and I was born there, and I went to Holy Trinity School. So I found myself enjoying wanting to to act in schools, in church, and I said, oh, that's what I would like to do. Gradually, one day, I was sent on an errand. I was about 7. I saw a vehicle with plenty of people. It was an open vehicle, and they were drumming and singing. I was fascinated. When they came closer to me, I saw it was a group. And I was very excited, and they were throwing down leaflets. I picked one of them, took it home, showed it to my parents, and they said it was Ogun Day concert party. They were playing. I said, I would like to go and see it. My parents said, well, upon condition that I did all my homework, that I did this. They gave me all sorts of things to do. Of course, I finished everything, which was not usually the case. They have to chase me. When I finished, then they agreed, and we went. When we got to the theater, I saw people. It was wonderful. People, they all laughed, and they laughed. They didn't laugh just from their throat. They were laughing from their bellies. The faces. I was looking. At that age, I enjoyed it, and I liked seeing people happy. And I said to myself, this is what I'm going to do. I didn't want to. If it were possible, I would have gone with them that day. And that was how the journey began.
Olu Jacobs had to contend with his father, who wanted him to have a more respectable profession in the society.
So when I grew older and I told him that was what I was going to do, he said no, what? Because he himself, a master drummer and a dancer, he was never a professional. He was, but he was known and respected. He said, you don't have to go. He said, you can do it as a part-time. I said, but in other parts of the world, they do it as a profession. He said no. He said he didn't agree. So I didn't argue. I didn't argue because if I argued, it would make sure that I didn't leave Nigeria. When I couldn't find any way I could study it properly, I decided I would come to England. So I told him I was going to study something else, but I told my mother what I was going to study. That's when I went. Unfortunately, I lost him while I was in England, so he never saw me professionally. You know.
The Sense Restaurant.
Spacious, clean and tidy, customer friendly, and delicious African meals.
Decency is the place, Daska is the beer.
With decency, you can't go hungry.
This is Abuego Nkete. Decency is my kitchen.
Yeah, decency is a place to visit.
Call it my meal.
Chemex Cash and Carry, wholesaler and retailer of Afro-Caribbean food. For all your Afro-Caribbean foods and drinks, Chemex is the ultimate. Our prices are unbeatable. Come visit us now, as your satisfaction is our happiness. Address: 12 Old County Road, opposite Crumley Shopping Centre, Dublin 12. Chemex Cash and Carry.
And how did the society see acting as a profession in his days as a young man?
It was accepted like my parents did, as a hobby that you did after work. You didn't do it as work, you did it after work. You know, it was a hobby. You know, and people thought it was the same. You know, but when a lot of Nigerians came to England in the 60s and 70s and saw, you know, people, professional actors, they began to understand bit by bit. But we didn't have the infrastructure. And the only television company was the NTA. NTA was government. Government is always on scales, you know. So even if you went there, the most junior government staff would think, an actor must be below me, you know. So they paid next to nothing, you know.
From his humble beginning as a young man, Uncle Olu Jacobs rose to become one of the pioneers of the Nigerian film industry.
I stayed in England for 21 years.
Yeah.
When I worked at various theatres up and down the length and breadth of Britain, Sheffield. I got to a stage where I was not getting satisfaction. I needed to grow, and the situation, the way it was set up in England, did not allow me to grow. I needed to grow, so I said, it's better for me to go home, help in the development, so that the generations coming behind me will not suffer what I'm suffering. You know, if by the time I go, all I can achieve is a solid foundation, then it will have been worth it. In 1980, I began, what you might say, the preparing for the return. I started making visits from 1980, 81, 82, 83. 84, I was invited at the beginning of the year to help start a program called Mind Your Language. Not Mind Your Language, it was called Second Chance in Nigeria. And I started that. We were supposed to, from April to July. By November, we still hadn't got it properly together, so I was still working there. My agent rang me, panicking. Said they've been calling me and they wanted me to come, and I didn't want to come. Roman Polanski was doing a film that he wanted to see me. So in November, I told them at NTA I must go. I was supposed to finish in July, you know. So they thanked me, and I left. When I got to London, Roman was in Paris. So I went to see him in Paris. He was curious. He said, "Oh, don't you want to work with me?" So I've been waiting for you. So I apologized to him and I said I was asked to come and help start a program by my government. Oh, he said, really? I said, well, how did it go? Well, I said, well, fine, thank you. He said, good, okay, forget that you delayed me. I'm delighted. Oh, this is very good. You know, he appreciated the fact that my country wanted me to do something.
Yeah.
You know, and for that he forgave everything.
Uncle Olu Jacobs shed some light on some of the problems facing the Nollywood industry presently.
We started well, but again, because of lack of infrastructure, it's sort of bugging us down. We need to have a proper marketing and distribution system, because that is the heart and soul of a good finished product. The quality of our movies are getting better. We're using better equipment. We are better used to these equipment. We are better trained, because I must say that our boys and girls are beginning to get well trained.
Yeah.
Haven't produced. How are you going to make sure you get it into the market? You must inform them. After informing them, you must make it available. I mean, you're advertising for people to come and buy your movie in Lagos, in Enugu, in where else? Aba, and that's it. Sokoto, in Kano, in Port Harcourt, in Ado Ekiti. You know, you want them to come to just those places to buy. So the pirates, they have a field day. You know. So until we are able to get products to every local government on the day it is supposed to come out, then we haven't got a chance. We haven't got a chance to.
Uncle Olu Jacob, I must say that on behalf of Island Association of African Theatre Arts Practitioners, it gives me a great joy and a great honor to be presenting you this. And to say to you that we appreciate you, we love you. The landmark that you have left in Ireland in your last 3 weeks, I can say to you, will remain till eternity. We thank you, Uncle Olu.
Thank
you. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 goes for Olu. Mosa! You get up for Olu.
We asked Uncle Olu Jacobs to assess Dublin of 37 years ago and Dublin of today.
The first time I came here was 37 years ago. The last time was 73. And when I first came here and throughout that period, the troubles were very tense. The place was very tense. And I actually missed the bomb